All right. Good evening. Melissa Johnson here for episode 52 of Melissa Loves to Talk. Today is March 7th, 2026. Hope you are having a great day. It is super nice here. I think it was 80-ish when we were out today. It was a little bit warm to be standing outside because, of course, we're not used to it. But it was way better than being cold. So, anyway, I am going to talk about the gentleman that is running for U.S. Senate in Texas who claims he is, I guess, a Christian. I won't say a pastor because I couldn't find that anywhere. So I don't know if somebody just assumed he was a pastor, but I couldn't find it anywhere. But it does say he's a Christian. And we're going to talk about his claimings of 6 genders. So I did a little research and I can understand where he's getting the 6 genders. But again, that is not realistic in general. But the Bible says there's 2 genders, and the way when I looked it up, it was more like you have the other 2 genders that I found is more like a mutation, defect. So like just like another birth defect, like when you have cerebral palsy, if you have Down syndrome, things like that. It's that kind of birth defect. So yes, technically, if you want to be technical, there is biological genders that are technically other than male and female. But again, it's just a birth defect, which we know that people, are born with both male and female, and they're hermaphrodites, I think they're called. And I think that is where people are trying to say I'm both genders. Again, technically, yes. But I think the percentage of you being born like that is like 0.02 or something like that. I didn't look that percentage up, but the 2 mutations that I did look up, it said it was 1.7% of births, which would be like a birth defect. I will show you all that because I did research it, and I will have it pulled up so that you can see it so you don't think that I'm making that up. But biblically, and if you're really going by biological and not trying to manipulate it, because that's what they do. They take these examples and manipulate them to make them what they want them to be. So biologically, it's just male and female. Biblically, it's male and female. You look it up in Genesis 1. God made us in his image, male and female. So I guess that is also where people say, well, God made male and female. That means God is male and female because he made male and female in his image. No, that's not the way it works. But people, love to manipulate everything. So, anyway, when I looked up this gentleman is when I saw that I'll play a video. He's doing an interview with Megyn Kelly where he says, no, he's not doing the interview. She's interviewing somebody else, and they're showing the video of him saying there's 6 genders. Okay, I had to look it up because I couldn't figure out which 6 genders he was talking about. Apparently, by like Judaism, there are 6 genders. I looked them up. Most of them I can't pronounce. In the Jewish, but if you look them up in the English, it's two-spirit, all the weird stuff. But as you listen to him, you can understand why he's picking the one he's picking. It's the ones that you can manipulate and say, well, this is what the Bible says. This is what it means, because you're manipulating the word. That's not what the word actually says. So we know this all the time. This is what the enemy does. They have a counterfeit for everything, and they manipulate stuff to make it fit what they want it to fit. So I'm going to show you the video first so you can see where he says the craziness. I'm going to play what Megyn Kelly and the woman that she's talking to, I don't know who she is, what they say about it. There is a little bit of language. If you know Megyn Kelly, she does use a little bit of profanity. So sorry for the language. I can't beep it out. I don't know how to do that. So it's a little bit of profanity. I don't think she says anything crazy, but it is some profanity. So I'll show you that.
Honestly,
sick modern science.
You said
this guy seems like a bigger problem for the Dems than Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett's weird statements are kind of like her fake street accent and her like, this person's a hoe, and like calling Governor Abbott Governor Hot Wheels, like stuff like that. That's just kind of like ridiculously obnoxious in your face shit. But it's not over the top weird woke shit like this guy, James Tallarico, like here in SOT 13.
I want us all to be aware of is that modern science obviously recognizes that there are many more than 2 biological sexes. In fact, there are 6, which honestly,
sick modern science.
Surprised me too, because I am not well versed in this issue area. I'm not a scientist. I'm a politician, a lot worse than a scientist.
I mean, let me play one more while I've got your attention. Here's on the trans athletes in girls sports issue, SOT 16. This is from October of 21.
Before my constituents elected me to this body, I taught middle school. And my students are the reason I'm here, to make public policy that improves their lives. But instead, we're doing this, endangering the lives of some of our most vulnerable children to solve a problem that doesn't exist. When she laid out this bill in front of the Public Education Committee, Representative Swanson summed up the justification for this legislation in one sentence. She said, "If one girl loses a game, this bill is worth it." I guess we just have a different moral yardstick. Because I say if one trans child dies to protect someone's damn trophy, this bill is grotesque.
How are they going to die because they can't run on the girls' track team, Jim? I mean, this guy, he's peak woke, Emily. We're going to be on this subject for a while because we've got about 25 sound bites we found in 2 minutes of him sounding as woke as they come on every single one of the left's favorite issues.
Yeah, the woke king of Texas.
Okay, so there he's talking about the 6 genders. He said, I am surprised I am not well versed on the 6 genders because I'm not a scientist. Where have we heard that before? How about the Supreme Court justice that said, I can't tell you what a woman is because I'm not a biologist? Sounds pretty familiar. Texas, please do not vote for this guy. Please, I'm begging you. Megyn Kelly is pretty accurate what she says. She says this is as woke as you can be, because then he talks about transgenders playing in women's sports, that if they don't play in women's sports, they're going to die. I have no idea what that means. Of course, Megyn Kelly had no idea either. So who knows? But just get out and talk to your friends and your family, and please tell them not to let him win because he's crazy. You know, President Trump said it the best. The left is just crazy. There's no other way to explain them besides crazy and demonic. Okay, so I'm going to show you the way I believe he probably came up with the 6 genders. Again, of course, you can manipulate anything and make it sound good, but we know the truth, so it doesn't really matter. But there are people that will believe this. So this is why I'm doing making a big deal out of it, because there will be people that are like, oh, he says he's a Christian. He's reading the Bible. He's showing us this in the Bible. Okay, we know that's not true, but people will fall for it. Plus, I mean, he looks nice. He talks well. He sounds like, you know, a nice person that people would think's likable. I think it's very weird that the Democrats use a white male when, you know, they're the most racist people, according to the Dems. So I don't know why they picked a white male, but I guess they figured they would try to pull MAGA to their side, saying, oh, this is a white male. See, we like white males now. Honestly, I have no idea what they think, but I'm showing you the craziness. So here is what I found about the 6 genders. I looked up a couple different things. Again, like I said, I don't know how to say the words. So I'm not going to, I can show you that, but I'm not going to try to pronounce them. Okay. So here is where it says biological sex is referred to physical and physiological characters that define human as male or female. There you go. That's the biological answer that they say. I'm not a biologist. I can't tell you what a woman is. Okay. So this is saying the determination of a biological sex in human begins at conception. There we go. At conception, with the inheritance of sex chromosomes, which is female has 2 X's and males have X and Y chromosomes. That's why you can't change your sex from male to female, because you're born at conception. You already have your XX or your XY chromosomes, which makes you a male or a female. Here's biological evidence right here. Okay. Now here's where I think they're getting all the craziness from. So it says around 6 weeks of gestation, these sex chromosomes influence the development of gonads. Okay, the Y chromosomes due to the SRY, which is the sex determining region gene. This is where the male stuff starts to develop. And then it says following that, you'll start getting your internal and your external genitals. So that's why it takes, around 16 to 20 weeks is when you can say whether I'm having a girl or a boy, because this is what it has to go through to get the genitals to show. Okay. And then while biological pathways lead to either male or female characteristics, biological sex is not always binary. Intersex variations describe a range of conditions where a person's reproductive organs, sexual anatomy, or chromosome patterns differ from definitions of male or female. It says right there, a condition. So these variations are a natural part of human diversity. It's a 1.7% of births. So it says it's a condition. So it's not something that happens all the time. 1.7% of births. So intersex traits can affect chromosomes, gonads, hormones, or external genitalia. For example, some individuals may have chromosome combinations other than XX or XY, such as XXY and XYY. So this would be like I said, a defect, and you would be technically both male and female. They call it Klinefelter syndrome. Again, I've never heard of it called that. But it says other might have XX chromosomes but develop external genitalia that appear to be male. So your chromosomes are XX, which means you're supposed to be a female, but you end up having male external genitalia, often due to exposure to excess male hormones before birth, a condition known as 46XX intersex, which I have never heard of. So I'm learning some stuff here. But this is why they make up all these genders, because it's defects. So they're saying this is why somebody could be that way. Again, 1.7% of births. It can't be every 5 people are transgender. It's not even mathematically possible. So for them to say there's all these genders, people can be this way, they're born this way, it's very, very unlikely. And here's the different variations. Again, this is why they're saying there's all these genders. This is where he gets 6 genders from. Of course, they call them something else. They call them transgender, two-spirit, something else, whatever they want to call them. But this is why they're saying that these are the 6 that are definitely biological. And then we have biological sex versus gender identity. Now, the gender identity is where they say there's millions of genders because it's how you want to identify. So here's how it all came to be, how the craziness started. This is legitimate things that happen, but they're distorting it to fit their narrative. So this is a big problem that we have, I guess, the whole world, not just America, but it only really affects me in America. So this is why it's a problem. And this is the gentleman. Here's a close-up picture of him in case you've never seen him before. And it does say he went to seminary, but it doesn't say he's an actual pastor. So, I mean, technically he did go to seminary, but it doesn't say he has a pastor's license or whatever. It just says he went to seminary and that he's a former educator. So I really feel bad for the people that he was educating because he lied to them and he told them false things. But he is running and he could be sitting in our U.S. Senate. So we need to be making sure that we are making sure people are not voting. We want to at least post this stuff, make people knowledgeable. That's all we can do. We can't make people do things they don't want to do, but we can at least tell them the truth. So there's what I found on him and the description of the things where he got the information and distorted it. So I really have no idea how these people come up with these things and why they have nothing better to do. But I guess this is what they do in their spare time. Let's think of ways to make up new genders. I really don't know. I wish I had time to just sit around and think about ways to make up new genders or whatever these people have time to do. But I don't have that kind of time to just sit around and make up things. I have other things to do besides make up fake things. So this is a problem that we're going to face probably in a lot of elections throughout the country. I don't think he's going to be the only one that's going to be trying to pull the Republican vote, because why wouldn't they try to do that? We know there's people leaving the Democratic Party and coming to our side. So why not try to do the same thing? I don't know why people would decide to all of a sudden believe that, but I am sure there are people right now that are mad about certain things that's going on in the country, and they may say, hey, you know what? I'll just try voting Democrat. I would never vote Democrat, but there are people that are saying they're upset about what's going on, and they may fall for this stuff. I don't know. If you're not really paying attention or doing research and are just an everyday person, you might think that, like, hey, I've been voting Republican. I'm not real happy with what's going on right now, so let me vote Democrat. He seems like an awesome person. I like his voice. I like the way he dresses. I have no idea what people think, but apparently that's what people look for when they're voting. Oh, I saw his sign. Oh, I saw his commercial, which is why people do all the things they do. They make commercials, they make signs, they do these things because they know most people don't research. They don't care enough to make sure they're voting for a person that should be in there. And this is the problem that we're facing in this country right now, because people vote emotionally, which is a lot of the problem with women. I'm a woman, so I can say this, but a lot of women are just like, oh, I don't like the way he talks. I don't the way he walks. I don't like that so and so said this. I care about policy. I really don't care how you talk. I really do not. I don't care if you use the F-bomb every other word. I care about your policy. Should you talk like that? Who am I to say? I don't want to listen to that, but I can't tell you not to talk that way. And if you have good policies, I don't care what you say. I care about your policies. So this is the problem that we face in this country. If you notice when you watch the videos of the left, it's mostly crazy women. I'm just going to be honest. You'll see men here and there. Randomly, you'll pop up. They're doing stupid stuff, keying Teslas. I just saw a video. That's why I thought of that. There was a guy that was keying a Tesla, and the podcaster was showing the video, and he's like, I literally just bought a Cybertruck, and I can't believe that the person that owns this car didn't get to this person before the police did, because apparently it alerts you on your phone if someone gets close to your car. Again, didn't know that. I can't afford a Tesla, so I wouldn't know. But he said, yeah, as soon as the person gets close enough to your car, the video picks up and sends it to your phone. And he was surprised that the police showed up before the person, because he was like, if they were doing that to my car, I'd be showing up and whooping their you-know-what, because the guy keyed both sides of the car. I don't know why. Like he said, it's not hurting Elon Musk. The car's already paid for. Elon Musk already got his money. These people are just dumb. I don't know how else to say it besides they are completely dumb. If you blow up a Tesla car showroom, because I've seen people do that, they burn the cars up. Elon Musk already got his money, because the car dealership already paid Elon Musk for the cars. They're at the dealership. You're not hurting Elon Musk. He already got his money. You're hurting the dealership, because they've paid for these cars and now they're burned up or keyed up or whatever people are doing. So this is the stuff we're dealing with, is you don't even have common sense enough to know how this works. And we know the left has no common sense. Obviously, when you're saying there's 81 genders or whatever, when I looked it up, it said 81 genders. When I said, how many genders are there? It said 81 in 2026, because it asked you what year What year do you want to know how many genders are? That's where we are right now. Every year it means a different amount of genders. I should have put in 1950 how many genders were there. That's what I should have did. See if it says 2. I'm sure it will, because we didn't start having all these crazy genders till what? Like 2010, 2011, when you started hearing all these weird genders. And now apparently there's 81. I don't even want to know what they are. I'm not even looking that up. I'm honestly scared to even know what they're saying genders are. The two-spirit thing cracks me up. It is just crazy. But just do your research. Make sure you're looking up the people that you plan to vote for. Make sure that you can inform people that you're close to. Of course, you may not be able to reach everyone, but inform the people that you're close with before they vote. Who are you voting for? I'm voting for James Telleruco. Please do not vote for this crazy person. I mean, he's just crazy. But we know people will vote for him. I mean, people already voted for him, and all these videos are not new videos. Some of this stuff was like 2021. The one video was 2021 that I looked at when he was talking about the transgender stuff. Transgenders should play in women's sports because they're going to die if they don't. I don't even know what that means. But I don't even want to know, honestly. So here we are in 2026, and there's 81 genders. That's all I can say. Again, I'm going to probably say this every episode. Please Google and see when your elections are in your area. All you have to say is there an election I can vote in? And put your zip code in. It'll tell you when there's an election. Again, the primaries are all different times, and because it goes by each state, some of them go by each county. So just Google it, find out. We have a special election. Our election day is Tuesday. If you live in the 14th district of Georgia, you have a special election on Tuesday. Please show up. Please vote for Colton Moore. If you live in other areas of Georgia, you will have primaries. I believe they're May 19th. I think that's what I just saw, because I just looked it up. Well, actually, I found it by accident. I wasn't even looking for it, but I believe that's what the date is for the midterms. The primaries for midterms is May 19th, but I'm not positive. I'm mostly focused on this special election that has pretty much just taken all my time. So, just do research. Don't just think because there's an R next to their name means they're gonna care about your values. There's a lot of them that are rhinos. We know that. So R for rhino, not Republican always. We know this. We've seen it. Look at the House and the Senate right now. We have 357 congressmen and women that voted against exposing I'm trying to remember how they said it, but pretty much just being inappropriate with women or men, or however they put it. It was that. It was, they just didn't want people to know if they were having sex with their staffers. That's pretty much what it was. And they didn't want to be honest. Apparently it's a lot of them. And I didn't know this till a couple days ago when people were saying, yeah, when I go to DC, I see all kinds of things podcasters, of course, because they're in the press room, they go to dinners, they go to, the rallies. They see a lot of things that I wouldn't see. So they've seen, actually women and men have come on to these podcast people and, hey, do you have a room we can hook up? And they're both married. So this is a legit thing. They didn't want anybody knowing about it. 357 of them. 65 said, hey, yeah, let's expose it. So they're the ones that have not cheated on their spouses. So good for them. Or I guess 357 have. And that's men and women. It's not just men. It's men and women that didn't want to be exposed for having affairs. I don't even want to know. It just said, sexual. I wish I could remember the wording they used, but it's like I said, it's like being inappropriate, or they were saying having affairs. And people said a lot of people in DC have affairs with their staffers, their interns, their people that work at the desk, all kinds of different things. Again, I didn't ever think of that, but I guess it makes sense. You're there 4 or 5 days a week and you're away from your spouse. Not saying it's appropriate at all. I'm not. But I'm saying, as they say it, I'm like, oh, I guess people would do that. I would not, but I'm saying people do. Apparently 357 do. So these are the people that we want to get out of there. They're being inappropriate and they never vote for us. They don't. They care about themselves. Obviously, we can see it by the way they vote. So we've seen a couple of them being primaried in Texas. So we need that to be happening in other states when the primaries come up. Look your people up that you live in your district that are in the House and the Senate. If they're up for re-election and you know that they are rhinos, primary them. We got Dan Crenshaw out and hopefully Al Green, because he does have a runoff, and we got rid of Jasmine Crockett. So it's possible. It's possible. People just need to show up and vote. It's very easy. I mean, these are all Democrat. Well, Dan Crenshaw is a rhino. So they got him out. So good for Texas for that. We need to be doing that with most of them. Most of them are rhinos. Come on. Like I said, we have the majority and we can't get them to vote with us. Hardly ever. Unless it's something they're going to benefit from. It's nothing to benefit the American people. It's to benefit them. So, I mean, I will say the House did vote for the Save America Act, so I have to give them that. The Senate has not. They're a bunch of losers. So they definitely need to be primaried if they're running, which we know senators get 6 years. So most of them are not up for re-election yet. Most of them are up for re-election, I think, in 2028. So, but you can get the ones that are right now. Like the one in Georgia, he's up. We're definitely, hopefully, getting him out of there because he is a piece of garbage, to say it nicely. So we have a couple we can get out. So we need to be making sure we're primarying them. And that way they have no way to even have a chance of making it back into the Senate. But I just really hope that we're doing research and we are, if someone says they're a Christian, doesn't mean they're a Christian. That is my main thing. We have lots of paid actors. We have a lot of people saying, I'm a Christian. That doesn't make you a Christian because you say you're a Christian. Anybody can say they're a Christian. Okay? This is what I heard the other day. This is I have to say the funniest ever. Okay. Even Jesus wasn't a Christian. I wonder why Jesus wasn't a Christian. Let me see. He made Christianity because a Christian follows Jesus. That is what a Christian is. So, no, Jesus was not a Christian. He can't follow himself. So, that is the things that we're dealing with. A Christian is a person that follows Christ or Jesus. So to say even Jesus wasn't a Christian is just blows my mind. It's hilarious, honestly. But please, because they're saying they're a Christian, watch videos. Most of the people that are running, they're going to have some kind of video. You can look them up. Even grassroots people, I'm sure they have a YouTube channel, a TikTok video, something. If they're running, there's a video somewhere of them. Like, I'm a nobody, but if I was running for stuff, you can see a lot of things on me. So if everyone has something, you can look them up, look and see what their videos are about, look and see what their Facebook says. Or their X, because everybody's on X. I'm not on X. But people are big time on X. And they post things on X or TikTok or Instagram. And you can see, what are they saying? Like, I literally just looked up YouTube and found all those videos on James Tellerico. Now, mind you, he is a senator in Texas right now. Which is very scary for Texas and explains a lot of the reasons why they're having the problems in Texas they're having, because they have people in their Senate like him. But we need to be doing research on these people that claim to be Christians, because yes, we want Christians running our country, but we need to make sure they're actual Christians and not just claiming to be Christians. Because again, I can say I'm a Christian, doesn't mean I'm a Christian. It's just something you say. Most people say they're a Christian because they know there's a God. They don't live like a Christian. They just say, yeah, sure, I'm a Christian, when you ask them what their religion is. Because they don't want to say, well, I don't believe in God. Most people do believe there is a God. So they just assume they're Christian. So this is the big thing that we're dealing with in this country right now is, yes, I'm a Christian. Well, what makes you a Christian? Oh, I believe in God. Okay, that doesn't make you a Christian. I'm glad you believe in God. That's great, because that's better than a lot of people. But that doesn't make you a Christian. What do you believe in? Why are you a Christian? That's what you need to be paying attention. What is their answer? Well, I believe Jesus died on the cross for my sins and rose again. Okay, that's a little bit better than just saying I believe in God. I'm a Christian because I pray and read, and I go to church, and I love Jesus. Okay, way better than I believe in God. So we need to be making sure the people that we're voting that we believe are Christians are actually Christians. And these are the people that should be running our country, and making sure, definitely make sure we're not voting in Muslims. I'm sorry. I know everybody's going to be like, oh, you're a lot Islamophobic. You're racist. Heard it all. Been called everything. It's fine. I don't care. We need to not be voting these people in. Look at New York City. That's all I'm saying. So please do your research. Please help your family. If your family wants to vote for a conservative person and has no idea, tell them who to vote for. That's what I did with my friends. They asked me who should I vote for, and I told them. If you do research and you pay attention, tell them who to vote for. There's no problem in that. If they don't know who to vote for, tell them, hey, vote for so and so and so. There's no problem with that. They're asking you. So it's not like you're making up their mind for them. They're asking you. Because most people don't follow everything. And that's why these people get elected. So please help this country by doing your research. That is the best way to help this country. Do your research. Make sure that the people you're voting in are the people that should be voted in. And pray about it. Even if you're not, especially pray about it, because that helps. You know, you could say, okay, Lord, should I vote for so-and-so? I'll be honest, there's a lot of times I prayed before I voted because I had no idea who to vote for. And when I went in there, I heard the person's name, and that's who I voted for. I've done that not every time I voted, because normally I know who I'm voting for, but there has been times when I wasn't sure. Because I'm like, well, I like both of them. Or I like none of them, but I got to vote for somebody because that's my civic duty. So who am I voting for? And I used to vote independent when I didn't know, and learned that's not the right thing to do, because you're voting for a Democrat if you do that. So I don't do that anymore. I pray about it if I'm not sure. Because again, like if I do research, sometimes there are two candidates that are pretty decent. Like, honestly, we have a whole bunch of people trying to get Marjorie Taylor Greene's seat. There's some of them I like a lot. I wouldn't say I'd vote for every single one of them, but there are a couple that I think, oh, they probably wouldn't do a bad job. I just know Colton personally, so I know he is going to vote conservative always, because he always has in the Senate. So that's why I am voting for him. Well, I did vote for him, and I've told my friends to vote for him, and I will just keep telling people to vote for him because, again, I know how he's going to vote. But again, there's people that I believe are Christians and would probably vote for Christian values, but I don't know them personally, and I don't know definitely. And the way it's been going in the House and Senate, I want to know without a doubt that they're going to vote conservative. So that helps. Like I said last night, if you go to your GOP meetings, that helps. You can meet your candidates that are running. Like, I've been to 4 or 5 GOP meetings in different counties to talk to the candidates more than once. I've talked to all of them at least 2 or 3 times to make sure that, okay, just in case these people do win, because this is a runoff state, so you have to have 50%. So just in case there's a runoff, just in case, you never know. You want to have a backup plan always. So there are some of them, just in case. I talk to them, and if it comes down to that I have to vote for them, I want to make sure that it's somebody I want to vote for. So these are really good things to do. Pray, of course. Go to your GOP meetings to meet these people. Talk to other people that might know them. Look up their videos. All good ways to know how you're voting. People believe for some reason that if you're a Christian, if you go to church, you shouldn't be in politics. This is why we are where we are, because so many people don't want to get involved. The church should be involved more than any other person in the country, because it's our responsibility to keep Christian values in this country. So please pray about it. Please vote. Please tell your friends, your family, to vote. Again, it's their choice who they're going to vote for unless they ask you. It's their choice. It's a free country. Vote how you want to vote. But just remember, when we get these people in here that don't have Christian values, who think there's more than two genders, who think trans men should be playing in women's sports, this is what happens when we're not voting the right people in. So you can't say, why is this happening? Well, it's happening because people don't vote or people don't do research on who they elect. So thank you for watching. Please like and share. Please leave comments, questions, concerns, anything that you might need help with. I can do my best to help or direct you in a way to get that help on voting or anything, really. But thank you so much. I will be on early tomorrow because I have to be somewhere at 5:30. So I'm going to try to be on here at 4 tomorrow. I'm going to try really hard. Sundays are hard. So if you want to see me tomorrow, I will be on at 4 live. I, at this point, have no idea what I'll be talking about. I do not make a script. I normally just wait for the Lord to tell me what to say, or something just pops in my brain that seems important. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great evening. Be safe if you go anywhere, and have a blessed